looking at around here.
Added value enhancement. The added value enhancement, it provides a supplemental coverage band and supplemental price election selected by you, the farmer. It is available on corn, soybeans, and wheat.
Yeah, so this one really actually intrigues me. This is pretty simple as far as I can understand it. It's two simple steps. You get to pick as the farmer. This is the big thing. I mean, you get to decide based off your production history, your coverage on bushels, and then your coverage on price. So, for example, the next slide here shows you on our supplemental price example, if we have a spring price of $4 with this ABE supplemental, we can choose anywhere from 5 to 25% of that $4. And then on top of that, which I don't have it in the slide, but I'll just tell you, we can choose anywhere from 5 to 30 extra bushels, or a bandwidth they call it, of our guarantee. It's not our APH. It's what our, and Jenny, you can go to the next slide, please. I'll just kind of explain it. So if we have a 200 bushel APH and we take out 85% coverage on our federal policy and our spring price is $388, obviously our guarantee, that's simple. That's, everybody uses that every year. Now we're looking at, we can take out another 15%, which comes out to 30 bushels. So 200 or 85% of 200 is 170. So now our trigger is going to be anywhere from 170 to 140 as far as a claim on this ABE. And then you can choose your 5 to 25 on the price, and we chose 20 in this example. So we're going to guarantee ourselves 78 cents per bushel. So essentially, we're looking at a $683 per acre guarantee here, which is kind of nice, as far as being able to market things and whatnot. So the next three slides are kind of an example of three different scenarios. The same scenario as far as our bushels that we harvested. So we were below our guarantee of 150, but the price was the same. So we still had an indemnity because we were below our guarantee. But look, I mean, we're getting another 16 bucks an acre because we're below our guarantee and the price was the same. So we're still getting paid $94 because of it. Now, if the price drops, we have a revenue claim and an indemnity claim because we still harvested 150 bushel. Our price dropped to $375, so that increases our indemnity to $97.50. Well, look at what it does to our ABE. I mean, it increases it. So there, in that scenario, you're making $117 an acre off of that indemnity. Now, if the price goes up, like I said in the first two, we still had 150 bushel per acre, so we're below our guarantee. So we trigger a claim, but the price went up, so we're not going to get us paid as much. But then you look at down here in the ABE, we're still getting a payment on it. So, I mean, this one I'm really excited about, just because, and the same thing applies. We're going to learn more in January as far as cost per acre, what it really truly entitles. But I think this is something I'm going to probably be talking to a lot of you guys about. I mean,
all right, ABE advantages. You decide how many bushels you wish to add to the additional protection, and you decide how much additional grain price to add to the protected bushels. And you can tailor this additional coverage to your budget. So whatever works for you, that's how you build it. ABE exclusions, you can't have it on high-risk ground, uninsurable ground, anything with a written agreement. Crops that are not under a federal policy cannot have this, and prevent plant and replant payments are not covered under ABE.
All right, so what does Jenny and I have to offer you guys this year? As we talked about, soil type plus ABE, added value enhancement, and then your that comes with your supplemental coverage band and your supplemental price. But here's the big one that I truly am finally, I mean, we had it offered last year in 13 pilot counties. But now Country is offering this in every county in the state of Illinois, a $65 additional replant coverage through the crop hail for $2 an acre premium. You may look at that, some of you guys that don't do business with us, and say, well, that's $5, $10, $15 less per acre. Okay. I know some of you guys are all 100% on it or in it all, but those that don't, here's what sets us aside or apart from everybody else. That $65 is paid out per person, not per share. Whereas everybody else, they may offer you 70, but if you're a 50-50 split, you're only getting $35 an acre. On top of your $35 or $15 from the federal, because you're splitting that as well. So I mean that's huge, I think, and it actually fits this next little bullet point too, which this has been an option now for 2 years, and I think it's really one we need to look at more with the vigorness that our soybeans have anymore. It seems like at least the last 2 springs, the cooler, wet springs of the beans have been able to survive a lot better than our corn. But we can choose this replant coverage, an extra 2 weeks prior to the actual RMA early plant date, and you still get that $65, whereas you're not going to get the federal side on that. Also new last year, quite a few of you guys took advantage of it with the replant and the wind or green snap. You do get an extra 10% discount on that, and that's just the beginning of the discounts. Jenny's going to talk about a few other ones here.
One thing I do want to add to that $65 replant, that $2 an acre is whether it's good ground or your bottom ground, your AAA or triple B. That's $2.
That's very true. Yep.
Something that other companies aren't doing too. Early pay discounts, 8% if you pay by April 30th, 4% if you pay by July 31st. Premium volume discounts, if you can get up to 25% off your premium. Group discounts, if you have immediate family, landlords, tenants, you can get in on the group discount. Stored grain coverage equal to your standing crop liability with a grain guard policy at no additional charge to you.
So on this here, my only comment on this, if you're taking out, say, more than the minimum on your crop hail to cover your stored grain as well, because you are essentially, say, $300 an acre, you're covering $300 worth of crop per acre. That's the bare minimum we can take out for a hail. That's why I bring up 300. But what I challenge you also to do is look at your farm policy and make sure we're not insuring the same price or the same bushels. Maybe we can cut a little bushels here or cut a little dollars through our farm because we're covering it on our crop hail now. There's a lot of different ways to look at it, and that kind of ties with the next one too, as far as, I'll just finish it, Jenny. You can have this farm and Agri Plus discount if you have a crop hail and a country farm insurance policy. You're now going to receive a 6% discount, where in years past it was a 4% discount. So that part's really good too.
All right, fast and fair claims service. As you can see, we are almost 100% on our claims. Our adjusters are a big part of why we are so successful. They are second to none. They can write hail claim checks out in the field where most companies, you have to wait to get that payment.
Yeah, so I'll second Jenny's comment on our adjusters, and a lot of you guys in this room know, and they are some of the best people, not only at their job, but just truly people. And so I want to say this is the last thing I'm going to leave you guys with. This non-loss APH certification is free to our customers. The RMA is ramping up their audits. I mean, money's tight, so they're going to try to get money back from farmers. And every year, it seems like, whenever I first started this 6 years ago, that, it was only 75% of Country's whole book of business. Now it's 90% of Country's book is getting an audit. So it's not a matter of when, or a matter if, it's a matter of when. So what this non-loss APH certification does, especially for your livestock guys. I mean, we've been doing it now for a few years. The adjuster comes out and he can measure all your bins, take all your settlement sheets, and you both sign off on it and agree that this is a certified crop. And so if you were pulled for an audit, it helps me, it helps you, it helps everybody with that peace of mind. And it can also improve your APH because we're putting a true production in right there before April 15th, whereas most guys that sell in June, July, we can always change that, but we're changing it a year later. So you're not really truly getting those bushels for your APH that year. So again, I thank you for showing up. I mean, I was truly surprised with how many people RSVP'd here, and I wish I could be with you guys, drinking that free drinks and eating that good food. And I thank Jeff and Allie for coming back and emceeing this, and Mr. Cooney, who's on next. So I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas and stays healthy.